What is going on, YouTube? I got a dope video lined up for you guys, man. I hope you guys enjoyed that intro I did, man. I put a lot of hard work into that one for you guys, man. I'm sure you guys got a good understanding of what's going on in this video. So basically in this video, I'm gonna be showing you guys all steps, process, procedures to building a brand new house. And just a little background knowledge about myself and what's going on. Me, my dad, and my cousin are trying to get into the field of building custom homes. And this is actually the second project that we're working on. First project we did was a house for myself. We built it a few years back. I stayed in it about 2 years. We ended up selling it May this year, May of 2020. We sold it and made good profit off of it. Now it's time for my cousin to get him a house built. And just so there's no confusion or just people that's lost, this house is not mine. This is my cousin's house. You know, I just asked him, hey man, you know, it'd be dope if we could film a video about your house. You know, I'd really like to put it on my YouTube channel. And, you know, I asked him, did he mind or care? And he didn't mind or care. So that's kind of where we're at now. And I'm gonna try to do a good job on trying to make these videos not too long, man, because it's just, you guys got to bear with me, man. It's just so much information, just so much stuff going on. I don't want to try to leave out like any details like at all. You know, I don't want to leave out something that's small that might turn out to be something big later on. I'm going to try to make the videos not as long as possible, as short as I can, you know, keep everybody in the loop and entertained as much as possible, man. But y'all just bear with me, man. There's a lot of stuff going on, man. With all that said, man, let's go ahead and get straight to the video. All right, guys, I figured this was the best way to do this, kind of just talk about what's going on, just give you guys play-by-play. So what we got here is basically the house plan. So you need to have a good idea of what kind of house setup or plan that you want when you do a project like this. And this setup we got is a full basement style house. So it's 2,500 square feet in the upper portion and 2,600 square feet down in the basement. It's giving you guys good looks at the house and how it's set up. And right here is the lot that we purchased. It's actually a half-acre lot and very, very wooded, man. A lot of vines, a lot of bushes, lots of trees, just very wooded lot, man, very wooded. Now, once you get your lot, you can go ahead and start getting your survey work done. And basically all this is just help you identify points and property lines to just let you know how much property you're really working with. And what we're doing right here is we're just cleaning up things just to make it real easy to identify where the actual lines is at. And the way we identify them is we put stakes on the ends with yellow caution tape and we use strings. Right here is a little point right here. That's actual what the point looks like. And this device right here, you actually put it on top of the point to help you identify where the next property line will be at. So we're just kind of just trying to figure out where we're going to next and just making sure that everything's lined up and measuring out right. And this is pretty much the back end of the lot right here. This back portion right here, we're trying to find out where the last end of the lines is right here. Now I will say this is not my favorite part of the project because basically, I mean, you got to go in here, cut through the woods, kind of forge a path, man, so you can lay down these stakes and run this line up here so you can identify where the property line is. And mind you, it was very hot outside, very humid, man. It was a real grind just for us, man. We definitely got our exercise that day. It was definitely a good workout. And you know, here's kind of what we just doing, man. Just cutting up stuff and just throwing it out the way. And you can see I'm having a tough time trying to cut this tree down right here. And I will admit it was a very wooded lot, man. I literally felt like I was in South America. That's how wooded it was. But once you get this stuff out the way, man, it makes things flow a lot easy. And it really makes things really easy for your excavation guys when they come through. And here's just kind of general idea of what we're doing. So basically you put the stake in the ground, we'll wrap the string around the stake, and we'll do so all the way till we get up to the end, man. This just helps the excavation guys when they get in here, they know how far they can go when they come and clear the lot out. Now this is the first phase to when they came through, when they cleared out the lot. And like I said, you know, they have a good idea how far they can go. You can see somewhat of the tape and stuff we had right there. And this is just some clips of them, you know, just kind of clearing up the lot a little bit. You know, I just took some clips of them just putting stuff in this dump truck right here, some bushes, trees, vines, all that good stuff, man. Just putting it all in the dump truck, man, and they just take it off somewhere, dump it off, and then come back and get some more of it. Now, I thought this was pretty interesting right here. My cousin actually had this one tree on his lot that was about 70, maybe 80 feet tall, and I was kind of wondering how he was going to knock this tree down, but he made it look so easy, man. He definitely knew what he was doing, man. Big shouts out to the guy driving the tractor. Now, the tree was so big that they actually had to cut it up with a chainsaw, which is pretty interesting. And when I mean cut it up, they had to cut it up. Every limb, branch, little twig that was on there, it all got cut up and put on the dump truck. And once you get all that out the way, you can move on to the digging phase of this right here. So this is the first phase of the digging right here. They're pretty much digging up the basement. They had to dig down about 10, 11 feet and get everything clean and prepped and ready for this basement. And again, like I said, they had to dig about 10 feet down there to get everything just right, because we ended up doing 10 feet concrete walls, which I'll discuss later on in this video. But just got some real good clips of them, man, just digging this out, man, just cleaning it up, you know, making everything look real perfect out there, man. And I gotta give another shout out to these guys, man. They did a really good job. Father-son crew, man, real cool guys, man. Now, I will say it did take them a while to clear the lot, but when it got to the digging, they got it done, man. And as you can see, this is what I mean right here, man. The lot's been dug to its proper depth, and it's just looking perfect, man. And this is the next phase of this project right here, which is going to be the footing. Now, the footing is actually what your house is sitting on. It's basically the foundation of the house. And you got these rebar wires right here, which you see in these trenches. And what they're going to do is they're going to put concrete all in these spots right here. And that is basically what your footing is going to be. Now, this is the footing portion right here. And like I said, you'll have concrete, which those rebar wires bonded to right there. And that's basically the ends of the house, basically where the house is going to be sitting on, really. Now, these rebar wires are sticking up right here because it's going to be set up for the next part, which is going to be the concrete walls that you'll see later on in the video. Now, anywhere there's like massive amounts of dirt, like right here, this is basically where the wall is going to be. Now, on the other side over there where there's no dirt, that's where the wall's not going to be. That's why it's called a daylight basement. And the way they do these walls is this right here. They'll have these panels right here that they have to bring down, and they call them forms. Now, I'm not too sure how heavy these things are really. They do look very heavy. Now, all these forms that they have in this truck, they have to get them all the way down there where the footing's at. So they had to tow everything down there, as you can see right here, the way it's laid out. So they had to bring all that stuff down here. And basically the way they're going to lay these forms out is that they're going to put them on the footing, you know, across from one another, you know, and leave some space in between each section. So later on, when the concrete shows up, they can pour concrete in the middle of it, which they'll have a rebar wire in the middle of it, and the rebar wire will bond the concrete together so it thickens and hardens, basically. And this is what I mean right here. Everything's put together, basically like putting a puzzle together, really. So everything's all put together and locked in, and now we're just waiting on the concrete to come in so we can get these walls in here. And again, this is just all the forms put together. This is what you got to go through before you can get these concrete walls set up for your basement. And that's really kind of what it's looking like right there. Like I said, you got the forms together, rebar in the middle, and that's set up so when the concrete gets dumped in there, it's all going to bond together and stick and get real hard. Now we can finally get to the phase where we get to the concrete. Now, this is what you'll actually call a pump truck that shoots concrete out of it. As you can see, it's a pretty interesting machine, man. Like, it's got this long reach. I think it stretches out at least like 100 feet. So what you're going to do here is basically you're going to get a concrete truck that's going to dump the concrete into the pump truck. And the pump truck can shoot however far he needs to with that long reach that he has, as shown right here. He's got his reach set up like that, and basically it's shooting concrete out of the tube right there. Simple process. Just got to shoot all the concrete out right here till everything reaches the height of the forms right there. And I will say this was a very interesting machine. I had no idea it actually cost about $600,000 to even buy one of those things. Very cool, very interesting. I know I might sound like a lame by saying that, but it was a very interesting machine. If you've never seen a pump truck before, definitely check one out. So this is what it's kind of looking like on the inside right here. As you can see, that gooey stuff right there is basically the concrete. And you get a better look at it right here, how it's just coming up to the top right here. is about to peak basically. So again, you got to get it leveled so it's flush and flat right at the top right there. And just simple process, man. Just got to make sure it's evened out everywhere, all around where there's gap in between each form. That's where we're gonna shoot concrete in at. And once you make it through that long process, you can finally get to the promised land, like right here. Finished concrete walls, man. They came out looking excellent. Big shout out to the guys, man, that did this job. They did a great job on this one. 10-foot walls, man, solid. They look really good, man. Now, one thing I did forget to mention is this also. In the process of what we went through before, when you got the forms and the concrete coming in and everything, you do got to let it sit up and dry, at least, I believe. I'd say about a day. You could probably go with 12 hours. And you want to make sure when you're doing a job like this, it needs to be sunny, nice out, not raining at all like it was for us. Just certain things you got to keep in mind when you're doing stuff like that. Just showing you guys the back end of it right here. You really get a better, more in-depth look at things right here. Now this right here is actually not a part of the wall. That's actually a retaining wall right there. This is actually where the walls start right here. And you can really see, get a real good look at how things are really looking when you get on level with it instead of looking above at it, man. And it's just, man, these guys did a good job on this one right here, man. It's really looking good. Real nice. And also, like I said before, you were only going to put the concrete walls around where there was like massive dirt and stuff like that. As you can see on the other side where there's a bunch of daylight, that's why it's called a daylight basement. So we didn't do any concrete over there. And this was a little cool feature that we added in also. Basically a storm shelter. You can use it as some type of storage. I think the best thing to say, it'd probably be a good for a storm shelter right here. And I mean, I don't know what tornado category is coming through here, but I think we're in good hands with this right here, man. I don't see nothing coming through that right there. Now the next and final phase that we're gonna have to get to is this right here. And this black tar light stuff is what you would call waterproofing. And they put this on the wall so no type of liquids can come through, so there won't be any type of leakage or anything like that. I personally don't think any water can get through a wall that thick, but this is just the procedures you got to go through with this stuff. And the next thing we got going on is the gravel down there that we got in the basement. We're pretty much prepped to do the slab down at the basement, which you won't get to see till the next video I upload. I hope everybody's enjoyed watching the video so far. I know it's kind of a lot to soak in, man. I hope, you may have learned something along the way, because I'm always learning with this. I'm a student to this game, man. I'm not going to come out here expecting to know everything when I come out and do stuff like this. I'm always learning. But I appreciate you guys sticking around to watch this, man. I promise you, it's going to be worth watching this all the way to the end, especially when it starts looking more like a house. If you like this video, man, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, man, because I'm going to be bringing a lot of good house content, man, with this project that you're going to want to see. And we're going to end it on that, folks. Stay tuned for part 2. Peace.